This is really not good. Hold on! Nathan! They're gaining on us! I know! We'll crank it! Sam, I'm going as fast as I can!
Hello everybody, welcome. Uncharted 4, yes, that's right. Now I know at the end of Uncharted 3 I said we may not get Uncharted 4 right away. And lo and behold, we get Uncharted 4 right away. I had a very good Christmas. Oh, there we go. Load up. And I actually got a few games that, I wanted to be video games. Including Uncharted 4, which is fucking amazing since, I did Slime Rancher specifically because I wanted a one-off video just in case I got this. Now, you might think, well, this came out the day after Boxing Day, and I keep saying that I thought it was Christmas, which means, when did I say am I recording Day, am I recording Boxing Day, I'm gonna say right now, I'm recording Boxing Day. So, another thing you might think is, okay, so then you must be playing this one blind, right? Because you just got it, there's no way that you already, there's no way that you already played through the game if you just got it like 2 days ago, and you're right, to an extent. I haven't played through the whole game because I got it 2 days ago. But, since, like I said in one of my Uncharted playthroughs, oh god, I didn't even get blown up by the mines they were dropping it up and cranked the boat. You can't record on the PlayStation 4, at least I couldn't figure out how to record on the PlayStation 4 using headphones, so that you could hear it and get audio to the game capture.
I'm okay!
There you go. So, okay, now am I... Yeah, okay.
Damn it!
So, what I did is last night, after I got back from what, Boxing Day dinner, what I did was I played through, I had about 2 hours, 2.5 maybe, to play it last night.
Damn it! More coming!
And I think they only come from one side. So we're playing on moderate, which is their version for some reason. I do believe in was it called moderate in other sectors? Or that in other three it was just called. This game here, it's weird. I feel a lot squishier. Like I feel like I take more damage, but that I heal a lot faster. Like I feel like you take more damage, but you get it back a lot faster. But yeah, so I played it for a couple hours. Like I said, about 2.5 hours last night or so, and just so that I could play through it, and I would know something of what's going on when I play it. Now, normally, I think Uncharted 3 was the first one that I played that I hadn't already perfected by the time I started to play through for the channel. So this will be a little different. Like, obviously, I won't have... Well, I was gonna say I won't have the puzzles memorized, but at the same time, I will have probably every time I record this have just played through what I'm recording, so I might know them that way.
Nathan, what are we gonna do with you? You must be tired of these lectures. I know I'm tired of giving them. And now you have to stay here with me all weekend instead of going on the retreat with everyone else?
I don't care.
Yes, that is the crux of the problem.
I don't see why I'm the only one being punished.
Because you started the fight.
You wouldn't give me back my book.
I told you to leave those books in your room. You only have yourself to blame.
Doesn't give him the right to just snatch it from me.
Does that give you the right to start throwing punches?
It wasn't just about the book.
was it then?
Nothing. I'll save it for confession.
No matter what I try, you seem insistent on going down the same sad road as your brother. What a waste.
Sam!
All right, so as you can imagine,
I see.
Sam is Nathan's brother, and he was in the boat, and you saw that, Nate was wearing his wedding ring, which means that it has to be
Yeah.
after 3.
Whoa!
Oh,
Too slippery.
Right. But then you also have to think to yourself, well, what the fuck, though? Not once in Uncharted 1, 2, or 3 did they ever mention that Nate had a brother. So you can't really... So here's the thing about that, right? I feel like the brother wasn't necessary, but at the same time was.
Nice and quiet.
Because, when you think about it, the way they ended 3, the only way that they could have brought Nate back without having, someone come and pull him into it is if they did the same shit as they did in the twice before, where, at the end of 1, it was very obvious that he ended up with Elena. And then 2, it's oh, they were broken up again. And then they got married after 2. And then in 3, it's oh, they were broken up again. And it's if they had started 4 and it was oh, they were broken up again, it would have been fucking shit.
Okay.
Good night, Father.
So, I'm honestly glad that they brought his brother into it. You'll see why his brother wasn't in the last 3. The only thing that's weird... Well, I guess it's not really, because it's hard to lock down a timeline for this game, or for these games. I think I can make it. For example, this here is obviously before Nathan meets Sully.
Gotta get to that window.
They also do this a lot more, look at stuff. So yeah, this is obviously before Nate met Sully.
Sister.
And it's also the same basic controls as the other 3 games. So, I mean, it's not oh, what's she doing? That nun is smoking. There's not too much different in control, or control-wise, except that for some reason, which I can't show right now, obviously, shoulder swap is X when you're aiming, and I couldn't figure out how to switch that control in the options. I'll take another look after I'm done recording to see, but I couldn't see it when I was looking before, and it's really weird. I really want it to be clicking on a stick.
Coming, Father.
More specifically, I would really like it to be clicking on the right stick. Because that would just seem correct to me. Okay, there we go. But yeah, you'll see later why his brother wasn't in all of them. They did an alright job, I would say, retconning in a brother. I mean, they did a lot better job than they did on, Buffy, when they retconned in a sister, and they were just yeah, just some monks made a spell that just altered history entirely, At least this one here, it's, believable. Which makes sense, this doesn't have magic in it. Well, it does, kind of. Not, well, I don't know. I will say, though, no supernatural enemies in this game. Not a one. There is not a, the Guardians or anything like that in this game. Which I guess technically there wasn't in 3, there's the Jinn, which weren't real.
You gotta learn to watch your back.
Alright.
Hey, it's good to see you, little brother. What was that? Really? Again?
It's nothing.
You told me you'd stay out of trouble, though.
He was talking shit about us.
So?
He said that Dad dumped us here because we're worthless, and Mom is in hell because...
Nathan, come on. They're just saying it because it gets to you, all right? You just gotta learn to laugh it off.
You wouldn't.
Well, do as I say, not as I do. Here. You'll catch a cold.
So, what are you doing here like this anyway? If the nuns catch you, they're gonna call the cops.
Well, I got something for you. And I couldn't wait till Christmas.
What?
It's outside.
What happened to us staying out of trouble?
This is an exception.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you may have realized there, now I don't know if they have the same actors doing the voices for the young versions and the older version. I don't know that.
This is feeding you enough.
But if they do, it's really weird because his brother there, Sam,
Place is
has
kinda
an
empty.
accent, as you can imagine,
There's
as you can
everyone.
probably
Some Bible
hear.
retreat.
And I think it's a really good
One of those.
accent. But then when we get to the older version of him, because I say when we get to him because obviously he was already there, but you didn't really hear him.
He's the one
Like he
decent
didn't have
guy
that many lines
You should
yet,
come and say
and you
hi.
know it was like the
Nah.
wind and the rain and
I don't
everything,
need
right?
you.
His accent kind of turns really shitty for some reason. So like I have a feeling that it was a younger, like a different person, not necessarily a younger person, but a different person who did the
We're getting there.
voice acting for like this version of Sam
was
than
easy.
for the, because it's Troy Baker is one of the two, and I can't remember who the other one is. It's like the other voice actor that's everywhere.
Damn.
You didn't prop it.
I did. At least I thought I did. No, it doesn't matter. We're gonna take the high road.
The high road?
Just follow me. Watch this.
Whoa.
And now, we take the high road.
Have you done this before?
So yeah,
Once
this
or
here
twice.
is the new mechanic that they introduce in this game. It's just the grappling hook.
Come on. Your turn.
Which, you know, obviously Nathan. Oh yeah, so when you're on the grappling hook, L1. See, like when you go, you can move around, and then if you hit L1, you can actually like go back and forward on the stick. But then also if you hit L1 when you're like not hanging off of it, you like, okay, you just want to thank you. You just like pull the rope, which is also weird. I don't know. It's like it seems like very situational.
So what
as
you
you
been
can
up to?
probably
Working
tell,
mostly.
you know,
Still dating that
Nathan, the
girl?
master of climbing here,
Crystal?
as a kid,
On again,
not
off
quite
again.
as good.
Currently off again.
Like he's still like, there's still no fucking way that you could probably find a kid, however old he's supposed to be here, that can actually do
Don't
this.
worry.
But I mean, oh yeah, and look, oh no.
Just don't think about it. You got this.
But I mean, he's still like, as you can tell there, he didn't want to do the jump. Every once in a while you're climbing, he'll slip up, you know? Not enough to fall, but you know, he'll slip.
See?
Which,
No big deal.
actually, come to think of it, does happen
Nothing to
later. Like when you go back
with
to like
me.
grown up Nate. But, yeah, this here, you go to this not this exact flashback, obviously. But unlike, because
it. Yeah. Totally.
2 had the flashback where you
Through here.
Right behind you.
went to it, you played a little bit, you got back to it, you played a little bit more, you got back to it, you played a little bit more, and then you caught up to it, right?
Hey, there's a jump
I think
coming
there
up.
was that many.
Okay.
This one has a similar thing where you come back here. I think you only come back here twice, though. Like, you have this one, and then I think you come back one more time later. Because I've never played the game, but I've seen the entirety of the game played through twice.
Oops. Was that a sin? I think that's a sin.
So, I mean, you know, I do know a bit, but, you know, it was Achievement
Yeah.
Hunter playing it, so, you
Go
know,
ahead.
they talked over the cutscenes, assholes, and whatnot. So, yeah, like, when you're holding onto it like this, when you move forward and back, he'll actually, like, let go and extend the rope, and then if you hold L1, he'll actually, like, grip wherever you're holding. He'll grip wherever you're holding to pull it back, but not to, pull it forward. Like, he won't, like, grip it and walk forward. If you walk forward, he still, made it. He'll still let out the rope. Or, like, grab further up on the rope. Which is a little weird, but, you know, whatever.
Up the steeple. Come on.
Oh, come
I
on.
can't jump that high.
Nate can't jump that high. But yeah, I'm actually, you know, I will say, because like in 2, I talked about how annoying going back to that same area over and over was.
Yeah.
This one here I don't mind because
bad.
it's different. You know, like it's a
You ever been up
flashback,
here
sure.
before?
Like in 3 you had flashbacks and I didn't mind them there either because it was a flashback and it was telling
know where you're
backstory.
going, right?
In 3 it was how Nate met Sully. In this one it's, you know, Nate and his brother. And well, I won't spoil exactly what the flashback does, but you know,
You watch me.
it doesn't do it in this one, which is why I'm not going to spoil it. If it was like about to happen, I would just say fuck it and just tell you, but
Your turn.
come on, a little bit further out. That's a long fucking drop, too.
Alright, go ahead.
Nope.
Just don't overthink.
Hear it. Hear it. Oh yeah, and the sliding mechanics is also a new thing. That wasn't in the first thing. There's a lot of sliding in this game.
I did it.
Of course you did.
But yeah, like I don't mind these flashbacks in it.
Follow me.
I mean, you know, once again, having never actually played the game myself. Oh yeah, because don't I get...
You know what?
Yeah.
How about you take this one?
So now he is giving his brother the grappling hook, which, as far as I know at this point in
I'll
time,
follow
Nate
your
has
lead.
never used one before. But yeah, the grappling hook, you just throw it and it hooks on. It's kind of like the new Tomb Raider and the rope arrows. You can only use it on things that have a rope
Okay.
tied around them. Did he actually just leave it there? He did. Oh well. They also have it weird where when you go over cover or something like that, he like stands on top of it and then falls off the other side and grabs it instead of just like flipping over, which is weird. It's not nearly as
Just like
smooth as in
that.
the last 3 games, which is weird.
We're out.
All right.
Check it out. Huh?
Whoa, you got the 250?
250? What are you talking about? No, this is the 500cc twin.
No way.
Yeah.
Where'd you lift it from?
Whoa. That's a low blow. But hey, I'll have you know that I am a changed man. Bought this with hard-earned cash. Here, come on. Take a seat. What?
The only time you pull a stunt like this is when you're trying to make up for something.
You are too smart for your own good, you know that? All right. I got this job. Pays well. Really well. But, I gotta leave town for a little bit.
What's a little bit?
Like, a year. At the most, and then I'll be back before you even know it, all right?
You're bailing on me.
Come on, don't be so dramatic.
What, so it wasn't bad enough to leave me in that place? How could you do this to me, Sam?
Wait, I'm doing this for you. The money I make is for the both of us. And then in a couple of years, when you're
Couple
out...
of years? Take me with you.
I can barely support myself.
I'll pitch in.
I know you think the orphanage sucks.
You have no idea.
Yeah, but it's the best thing for you right now. All right? Just gotta trust me on that one.
It's not fair.
Hey, nothing about our lives has been fair. But we've made it work, right?
Sure.
Well, you know, the bike wasn't the only surprise. And I guess I'm gonna have to ruin the next one.
What?
I found Mom's stuff. Everything that Dad sold, I tracked down the buyer.
If you're saying this just to make me feel better,
I swear to God.
where?
On the other side of town. What do you say we go and get it back?
You mean steal it?
It's not stealing if it was ours to begin with.
I'm pretty sure the cops aren't gonna see it that way.
Well, then let's not get caught. You ready for this?
Hell yeah.
Esto va a estar más fácil de lo que esperaba, ¿eh?
You're gonna have to do it better than that, pal.
Acabemos con esto.
Let's go.
So, they have very similar fight mechanics to the last ones, you know, squares, punch, triangle is counter. They don't really have a dodge. Oh, unfortunately, like, the only real dodge they have is,
¿Qué tal esto? Asshole, let go of me!
is you can do a roll.
Right back at you!
There we go. Come on, get off.
Lucha como un hombre!
Oh, fuck.
Alright.
Is you can do a roll, and I don't actually know if you can do it here or not. Yeah, I don't know if you can do it here. Because they tell you about it in the next fight that you do. But, like, right here, I'm mashing circle to do the dodge, and I just, it just can't. Apparently he hasn't learned how to do that yet, so he learned it in, like, the next hour or so. Well, I guess it's definitely more than that.
Shit!
But yeah, so, like... I forgot that one is square, because, you know, to break out of a hold is triangle, right? And then for some reason that one is square. So yeah, he's in prison in Panama. I think he's in Panama right now.
Hey, we weren't fighting, huh? Right, little guy?
Voy a matar, gringo come mierda.
Hey, give me a call when you're tall enough to ride the rides.
Te voy a sacar tiras por el culo. Solitaria. Cállalo. Te voy a estar esperando aquí, ¿eh? Abre.
Come on. How long am I supposed to be in here? Huh? Where's the toilet?
You looking at it? Have fun.
I will. Gracias.
Get up.
Man, I was having a great dream, too. Hey. All right, easy. Ah. All right, cálmate.
Anyway, so we are still before the first Uncharted, by the way.
Any chance I can
I
take a
really
shower?
kind of want to look up a timeline for this, for like the Uncharted series, to see exactly when, like
Morning, boys.
what takes
Or
place
is it
when.
evening? It's hard to tell down
Also, all these guys are speaking Spanish, which, you know, well, mostly. Which is why, you know, I'm just going to keep talking over them because it doesn't fucking matter. What I might do is, it gets a little bit harder later when there's more than one talking, obviously.
Nice to see you.
But what I might do is go through and put the translations underneath it. I think they're speaking Spanish. I don't know. They're in, it looks like Spanish to me, but they're in Panama, and I don't know if that's what they speak. Now, unfortunately, these guys here I don't get subtitles for, so you won't be getting subtitles for all the insults they're tossing, but anything that's written on the screen like that, I'll put the translation for it underneath, which obviously you'll know by now since, you know, it's happened a couple times. Now, this guy ahead of us is Vargas. I think he's the warden. I'm not 100% on that.
Abre la reja.
¿A dónde lo llevas?
Es una sorpresa.
Diviértete.
I do speak a little Spanish, you know. Wait,
Oh, yeah, Spanish.
what
there we
did you
go.
say?
You'll find out soon enough.
Oh yeah, and then there's these guys here, fucking beating the shit out of this guy. 2 guards with nightsticks and 1 prisoner. So
Este me
fair.
encargo yo.
Yeah, it's one of those prisons. You know how they say that you never want to be thrown in a Central American prison? Well, there you go. I think this way. So this game does have collectibles. It has 109 treasures, but which I think is about par. I think the other 3 games had like 100 or 100 and some collectibles each. Go on, open up the... Well, why are you tossing me this way? I know that we go through that door. Prick. But on top of that, it also has journal entries, which is, like, I think I showed some in the other Uncharted's, where when you
Yeah,
flip
this
through the
isn't
journal,
sketchy at all.
it's the stuff that Nate writes in it. Yeah,
Hey, you
like
know,
that's
this
an
doesn't
actual
look like the
specific
warden's
collectible
office.
in this one, because there's some of them that you can miss. Whereas the other ones just kind of showed up
Yeah, I'm on it.
as you progressed. Then there are journal notes, which are different as they are like pieces of paper and that you find as you play through the game. I think I haven't actually found one yet. I think I haven't, like, there wasn't one as far as I made it so far.
Here we are.
All right. Hey, take these cuffs off or what?
I want in.
In?
Whatever you hope to find up there, I want in.
Come on, Vargas. The deal was just to get us in and out of here. That's it.
Just? I'm sticking my neck out for you gringos.
Yeah, and Rafe is paying you a lot of money for your trouble.
See? But not nearly enough.
You were told not to open that.
Yes. I was also told not to take bribes, not to bring anyone here, and not to beat on my inmates. But here we are.
Just be careful with that. It's 300 years old.
I was a member of Captain Henry Avery's crew. You know who that is?
He was a pirate.
The pirate who pulled off the biggest heist in history and got away with it. I looked him up.
That's great.
Over
Can we-
$400 million worth of gold and jewels, all from one single ship. The Gunsway.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the story. Can you get to the point?
I occupied the highest cell in the Spaniards' prison. Here. I hope someday you will find your way into this infernal place, bear my cross, and discover the riches of paradise.
What? What do you want?
The riches of paradise.
It's a metaphor.
No. You and your friends did not pay to get into this infernal place in search of a metaphor. I want in.
All right. I'll tell you what. Let me go up there, check out the prison cell. If there's still anything there after 300 years, you can take this up with Rafe. Now, come on. Letter. Por favor.
How you gonna get up there anyways?
Climb. Oh, unless, of course, you want to do it, since you want in and all.
Just don't break your neck.
That's the plan. Hey, did you bring what I asked?
All right, so Rafe is the guy who is. Well, you'll find out about him later, anyway. This here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the note. So as far as I made it, there wasn't any notes. As far as I know, this will be the notes, right? Also can't read that like that. Okay, so it says, "My dear son Richard, Spanish devils have me in chains in the Viceroyalty of Panama. I stand accused of being party to piracy. The trial is a mere formality. I shall imminently perish by hanging. I confess to you now, I was a member of Captain Henry Avery's crew. With my fellow crew members, I took part in the plunder of the Hindu Gunsway. We committed many atrocities in the eyes of God, and now I must pay for my sins. I now occupy the highest cell in the Spaniards' prison, looking out at the ocean, longing for another peaceful moment with you and your mother. Though my regrets are many, know that I am at peace with my fate. I hope someday you will find your way to this infernal place, bear my cross, and discover the riches of paradise. Your loving father, Joseph Burns." So now, if, like, Nathan doesn't have his notebook yet, like his journal, and if he did, this would be a note that would go into it. So every piece of paper that you pick up in this game, you can flip over like this. Now, as you can see, there's symbols along the bottom. It looks like a bowling ball with stars, and then like the bottom half with some symbols there. And then if you see at the top here, you have a sun and the rest of the symbols, which if you look at them and you put them together, it's like an anchor pointing up, which is Sagittarius, and it's an M with a pointy tail, which makes it Scorpio. Now that'll come into play later, but as far as I know, that's the notes. I don't remember like watching the playthroughs that achievement, or watching a playthrough that Achievement Hunter did. How many of those they found. I know that they found a lot that they just put back, which is when, like, for example, there is one in the tower that we're going to get to, or that we're going to, that you read it and you put it back. Now, these are the crates with wheels, and they are fucking everywhere in this game. Whenever you need to climb up something and there isn't already a path there, there will be a box with wheels to help you up.
Get up there?
So yeah, and then also for collectibles, and there is, I failed that jump the first time I did it, by the way. I hit X way too soon.
Poor bastard.
There are optional conversations that you can do during certain sections of the game. It's not really like hub sections or anything, like there's none of that in here. It's just during certain sections there's a couple extra conversations. Now, those are also collectibles, believe it or not. Oh, yeah, which is neat. So far, I've only got a couple of them, and they've been like, meh, nothing, you know? Like, there's really been nothing to them. So the grappling hook is insane. Oh, I think I actually might have been able to make that. Because you can use it whenever. Like, just like in the first 3 games, you know, Nathan's arm strength is absolutely ridiculous. Like, he can hold himself up for an infinite amount of time.
Onward and upward.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, there's nothing out there. I just fucking did this, and I'm already forgetting that there's nothing out there. I need... I don't think it actually matters which side I climb up, so we'll go this way. Oh, but I can't... Oh, can I get... Okay, I can get onto the roof. Okay. I thought I had to get up, like, where the broken piece is. So that is actually one thing I will say about this game. There actually does seem to be alternate paths. Well... Because, like, right here, I'm going to do this path because it's different than the one I took when I played through it last night, right? Which, by the way, I will say already, if I can actually make this...
Waiting to be hanged.
It is... Oh, come on. I know. There it is. Yeah, that was insanely faster than the way I did it last night.
Okay.
Oh, God. That is so much faster. So if we go down here, there is this note here. Once again, written like that. You can even zoom in if you wanted to read it yourself, or like that, but I mean, I can't read handwriting, so. I hanged the first of Captain Avery's crew this afternoon in full view of their cohorts. A gratuitous act, perhaps, but one that stokes the fear in their hearts for what follows. A visit to the remaining men in the tower. The sorry pirates threw themselves at my feet, begging for mercy. One day, I hope to hear such pleas from their elusive captain. And then, let's see, 2 days later, as I hanged the rest of the pirates this morning, one soul was bold enough to offer a bribe as the hood was placed around his head. More vague promises of vast treasure. I asked him where his hoard could be found, and then dropped him as he answered, I have no patience for pirate falsehoods. But yeah, so like once again, if he had his journal, he would have put that in there, and then you could have read it whenever. So this is the other use of the grappling hook. Ooh, there, pull it off, done. Not really a whole lot to it, but I mean, it's still an extra mechanic that they put in, so I mean, it's not a bad mechanic by any means. Okay, there's a thing there. So yeah, like I said, I did play a couple hours of this last night. I don't know how much that will affect my playthrough. And I don't know how fast I'm actually going to be able to complete this game, like my own playthrough of this game. But I will say that in my playthrough, I'm playing on the difficulty. We're on moderate right now. I'm playing it on light, which is, I guess, easy. You can actually, unlike the last games, in the other 3 games, they had the brutal difficulty, which this game doesn't have, which is fucking great. And they had an explorer difficulty, which this game does have. But
Burns his cell.
Burns cell.
Cell.
Oh shit! Look at all this.
Sweet.
Gubbins. Okay. So this here's the first puzzle you get.
Where to begin? Sun
there we
and
go.
Moon.
Sun and moon.
Symbols for gold and silver. Wait a sec.
Yeah,
I
saw this
something
on the
like
letter.
This on the letter.
So then it shows us to look at the note.
Well, that's part of the symbol. Ah.
And there's the other half.
Now then.
So then if we fold it... Oh, look at that. We get Sagittarius and Scorpio.
Okay, got a zodiac symbol.
Also, that is... This here is the only reason why I actually knew what those were. I had no fucking clue. So if we look up at the wall, Sagittarius is X and Scorpio is... Where is it? It's 2. So when I saw those, I'm like, oh, so there's something in the X slot and there's something in 2 slot. It's
All these
not.
squiggles and
It's actually you have
scratches
to
must
find
mean
the 12
10
slot.
and 2. X and
open.
II.
But yeah, I don't know how fast I'm gonna get through this on my own. So I don't know how much further ahead of my playthroughs I will be in my own personal one. Like, it could very well be that every time that I play it
Digna.
and then record it, I'll, like, play through a bit, and then, like, that'll be exactly what I need to record. I know a little bit ahead of where we're going to end this time, just based on how long we've been going. But you also have to remember that as I'm playing it, I'm searching for all the collectibles in my personal playthrough. Oh.
Guess this is it. Time to head back.
But yeah, since I'll be searching for all the collectibles in my personal playthrough, obviously that one will take longer than this one will. So, depending on how hard the...
Gotta watch that first step.
God, my legs are fucking waking up again. So depending on how hard they made the collectibles to find in this one,
Down we go.
will determine, like, you know, how far ahead I can
Now
get.
what?
As you can tell, there is an insane amount of rope on this thing. Like, way more than you could ever actually have without, like, slowing you down, basically, from the weight of the rope.
Careful.
And as you saw there, the symbol appears as soon as you're able to, as soon as there's a place to grapple within sight,
One more time.
the symbol will appear. Whoa. There we go.
Let's see Rafe do that.
So yeah, so far I've only had one collectible that's really given me issues. And I say that because not only is there a collectible counter for all the different collectibles, I think, I don't know, I haven't actually looked, in chapter select. You know, can you climb up here, please? Thank you. Oh shit, I do have a guide up when I play it, not for gameplay, like I still solve all the puzzles and that myself. But I use the IGN guide because they, like, if you follow their guide, they have the collectibles marked out separately with, like, very, very minor spoilers. And since I've already seen the game played, I don't even have to worry about spoilers. If I had never seen the game played before, I might have, you know, just tried to find them myself. But since I had already seen the game played and that, I'm like, alright, I'm going to use the guide. Because, like, I used the guide for the first 3. Just because I don't like collectibles like that.
You made it. What'd you find? Greg? What?
Place was picked clean. If there's a clue hidden up there somewhere, I couldn't find it.
Are you sure? Were you looking in the right place?
Maybe I missed something in the letter. There could have been another tower that collapsed centuries ago.
Yeah.
There any plans to this place? You know, like blueprints?
Could be. There's a bunch of old files.
Okay, great. Go look through those, okay? See what you can dig up. Meanwhile, I'll talk to Sam. He's our Avery expert. Maybe he can make sense of this whole mess.
Right. I'll look through the files.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Yeah.
When you're done talking to him, come and find me.
You got it.
Gringo, if I catch you fighting one more time, 1 week in the hole for you.
It's a nice acting of ours. Almost as good as mine.
Puedo decir, ¿eh? Suerte de principiante, ¿verdad? Hijo de puta. Lo siento, chicos. Tengo que irme. Claro, te vas cuando estás ganando. Para ti, ¿eh? Jesus, they worked you over good. You all right?
Just another day at the office. Come on.
Hey, whoa. You're gonna keep me in suspense, are you?
You were right.
No, we were right.
No.
We just gotta find Rafe.
No, Rafe.
Don't start, please.
Oh, come on. Like you said, we did this. You and me. Now this rich asshole comes in on the tail end.
How long have we been trying to get in here?
We had some leads.
No, we didn't. Okay, not one. So like it or not, no Rafe, no Vargas, and no getting in here.
Speaking of Vargas, we got a problem.
What kind of problem? Did he let you into the old prison?
Yeah, he did.
All right.
After he read the letter.
So how much does he know?
Enough that he wants a cut.
Shit. Rafe, if anybody else finds out about this...
I'll work it out with Vargas. Don't sweat it. Right now, let's get on to more important matters.
All right. Let's find somewhere a little more private.
Yeah.
All right, coast is clear.
Okay, so what do we got?
Oh, shit.
Huh? Hey,
May I?
just be careful, okay?
Wood with gold and silver inlay. It's well made. It's hollow. Why would one of Avery's men go through the trouble of hiding a cheap crucifix?
It's not a crucifix. Technically, a crucifix is a representation of Jesus. It's not Jesus.
Well, you're right. There's no crown of thorns. He's tied to the cross. Well, if it's not Jesus, then...
Read the inscription.
Digna factus recipimus. We receive...
We receive the due rewards of our deeds.
Look at you.
It's a benefit of growing up in a Catholic orphanage. That's St. Dismas.
Yeah, penitent thief. What's the connection?
Guys, let's just pretend I skipped all of Sunday school.
Okay, during the crucifixion, Jesus is placed between two thieves, okay? One of them mocked Jesus. The other one, this guy, was penitent. Okay, he accepted his punishment with grace.
And Jesus brought him to paradise.
Penitent thief.
Yeah. What? You figured it out?
There is a cathedral of St. Dismas in Scotland.
Wait, the last sighting of Avery was in Scotland.
That can't be a coincidence.
No.
You know, I had my doubts about you too, but... Let's find Vargas. Get the hell out of this shithole. Oh. Let me guess, this is the guy you picked a fight with?
Didn't know he had so many friends.
Te dije que no habíamos terminado.
Mira, ya nos ganaste, ¿ok?
Muy tarde para hablar. ¡Aquí no sales!
Hey, you know what?
Tú no te metas.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, I have my dodge. Oh yeah, so they have that where whenever you're fighting with two people, you can fucking tag team a person like that even. And it will, oh, there we go, see, wingman, which is to dual kill, it's to team, it's like for team up kills, right, like that, which only happens, obviously, during hand-to-hand. I really hope that, like, there's also one guy in there that you don't really, because the guy, like, the guy, right, like you were fighting earlier, Gustavo or whatever his name was, you don't want to get into a fight with him right away, because you can't actually take him out right now until everyone else is gone, so you're just stuck in, like, a big fight with him, which I think is actually great.
Damn! Need some help here!
Oh, actually, no, he just grabbed me. Maybe? I don't know, because he had tattoos. Maybe, yeah, because he's got the shank. So hopefully those two finish this guy off at some point. Come on. Boom. Yeah, come on. Get him. Good God. Oh, there it goes. Come on, Nate. Come on, Nate. But yeah, it's a neat little mechanic. Comes into play a few times, if I remember.
Espera!
Ya basta de hablar.
Alguien más necesita que le recuerde las reglas. ¡Alíñense!
¿Qué es esto? ¿Eh?
Dame. Are you bringing in contraband?
Vargas.
¡Cállate! Who do you think you are? Llévalo a su celda. Trae a los gringos a mi oficina. Déjanos. Déjennos.
Took you long enough. We almost got killed, you know?
You still might.
Vargas. Seriously?
Oh, I didn't find anything. It must be in a different tower. Well?
What can I say? I was raised Catholic. I always carry one.
Funny.
Hey, look. It's worthless, all right?
You think I'm an idiot?
Okay, you want to renegotiate, fine. Stop acting like a third world thug. Put the gun away. Thank you. We're willing to give you 10%.
Think half.
We're doing most of the work, 20. And you'd never find it without us.
25. Equals.
25. Does that sound fair, guys?
Suppose I can live with that.
Sure. I mean, 400 million divides nicely by 4.
Looks like we have a deal.
Yes, we have a deal. And if you ever cross me again...
Jesus.
That's that.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
You want to find out?
Guys, what are we doing here?
We're sticking to the plan.
Was this part of the plan?
Just follow me.
Come on. Come on!
Okay, so that right there, right? There's two things about that. First of all, they just said that they're going for 400 million.
Which way? I don't know.
That is insane.
And figure it out.
That he killed him over that. He's still getting 100 million at the end of it.
Nathan, give me a hand.
Like,
Hurry up.
that is way more than I would ever kill someone, right? Like, I realize that 100 million is a lot of money. And I would say that $100 million might be good enough to kill someone over if you weren't also getting $100 million. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I would not. And second of all, they could have avoided the whole thing if, when Nate came out of the tower with the broken cross, he showed it to Vargas and was like, look, I found the cross, but it's broken, hollow, and whatever is inside isn't there anymore, so it might be a dead end. You know, we might be fucked on this. Oh, and if that was the case, you know, I think they could have got away with it without doing all of this garbage.
Come on, Sam. Ready?
But that's my opinion. I mean, who knows? I guess I've never really been in the position. Because, like, I mean, he just killed a guy to get himself an extra... Let's see, it's 400 million. So, like, an extra $33 million when he was already getting 100 million. Or, like, where if he had left the guy alive, he would have got... He still would have made $100 million. Like, it's ridiculous. Because once again, you know, $33 million may very well be enough to kill someone over. But I mean, it's just like, not when you're already getting as much as you are. Oh, fucking double choke slam. Oh, there we go. Got the team kill there. So yeah, that achievement I got was to do, I think, 10 of those.
I thought you trusted him. I do. 4 points.
Yep, come on.
There's a vent here. Help me push.
And actually, I looked up the trophies for this before.
He's gonna leave without us, isn't he?
And the guide that I was looking at actually gave, like, because you can not only does this have chapter select, it also has encounter select. Which means that not only can you put yourself at the beginning of any chapter that you've already played, you can put yourself into any fight that you've already done.
They don't want us to leave.
Like, which is ridiculous, because one, it's like, why would you want to do that? But then two, once you're like grinding out achievements, that is fucking perfect, because there's a lot of them that are like, because there's a few in this game that are like kill like 3 enemies in a row, but you have to like, or no, I think there's one where it's like you have to stealth attack, melee, shoot, and then blow up someone in that order in like 15 seconds or something. Like, there are a couple of achievements like that. I think that's the worst one, but still, that's fucking ridiculous. And,
On me! Get to the wall! Now! Sam! Keep going! Go!
and you know, being able to, restart like, from the account would probably help with that. I don't know, once again, the guide showed, like, a very good spot to do it.
I got you!
So we'll see. For that, like, oh shit.
Sam, no. No, you hold on! Hold on! Sam! Give me your other arm! Come on, reach! No! Sam!
We gotta move.
Oh no, he's still down there!
No, he's gone. Come on, the boat's just beyond the wall.
No, I can't. Can't leave him behind.
Nate, your brother is dead. Either come with me or join him. Just have it your way.
Is it just me, or was there some like really bad blur?
Oh god, no.
So yeah, there you go. End of Sam, right? You got shot off a wall, fell through a sheet metal roof. Which is why you never heard of him in the last 3 games.
I'm coming.
The only weird thing about it is, obviously this is after he met Sully, like after Nate met Sully, which means that, and you actually find out later that that Sam has met Sully. So there is that. Oh, you know what? This is fucking perfect, because I do believe that we just hit the title sequence. Yes. And this will be the end of the video, so. So yeah, so the weird thing about it to me is Sam had to be alive when Nate met Sully, right? Like, because in Uncharted 3, it showed Nate, like, when Nate met Sully. Also, this is cool because it's going through the last 3 games. Obviously, it's cool for the people who played the last 3 games. If you didn't, all these would be pictures and you would have very little, like, you might assume that they're from last games, but you wouldn't necessarily know. But, yeah, so, like, he had to be alive there, but he wasn't there, which is weird to me. Because they didn't really, like, I guess they were necessarily, you know, attached to the hip, but I mean, he seemed really, like, they seemed really close as kids, and then they still seemed really close there, so it would be weird for them to have split up when Nate was that young. And then, like, you find out later that even Elena didn't know that he had a brother. Like, she had no idea. Like, he never told her about his brother. Which I get, you know, based on what just happened, it might be hard to talk about, but, you know, he married her. So, I mean, you would think that at some point it would have been like, yeah, you know, I had a brother. Like, I don't know exactly, actually, now come to think of it, how that would have came up. But, I mean, still. Oh, Nolan North, that's the one. So, one of the brothers is Nolan North, the other one's Troy Baker. But yeah, I still feel like they retconned him in decently for how they did it. And I love the opening cinematic, like the opening sequence there for it. Just because, you know, once again, if I hadn't played, like when I watched that in the Achievement Hunter videos, I had no idea. Like I had nothing with Uncharted. I knew Nathan Drake was Uncharted. That was it. That's all I knew about the game. I knew nothing about anything to actually do with the games besides the main character's name. So this is 15 years after the prison break, which this is after Uncharted 3, I don't know, and once again, I might look up the timeline and fill you in on the next video. Just to show you, or just to say, like, it's like, okay, so this is the sequence that everything happened in.
If you don't find it soon, I'll find it.
So this here is Nate. He's swimming around in, well, a river. I was gonna say I won't spoil it, but whatever. But this has been great. Fucking, I'm so glad that I get to do Uncharted 4 so soon after finishing Uncharted 3 for the channel. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.